Hey there, welcome to Concept Hunter. I have two games to show you today. One of them I really don't like, and the other one is incredibly innovative. And since I don't have much to say about either one of them, I decided to have a little bit, and I want to show them, but just a little bit for each one. I decided to just show both of them instead of picking. And we're going to start with Hellspin. Alright, and it's already from the name Hellspin. You can hear that it's supposed to be something pretty difficult, and you got hardcore game here. And the reason why they call it a hardcore game is because it's pretty damn difficult. The problem that I have with it is that the difficulty here I feel is artificial. And let's just see exactly why. So I'm going to press play. I played very little of it because I dislike it. I just inherently dislike it. Let's just see why. So your goal, circle to reach the portal. Okay, so the English is a little bit problematic here, but we can generally understand what's happening, and we won't you know, be nitpicky about that. Click to continue, and you can see that this thing moves forward without me doing anything, and it gets to the portal, and that's it. So we need to get it to the portal. Circle rotates relative to the mouse position. Click to continue. All right. So we got no rotation here at the middle, low rotation, and then high rotation, as the further away we get from the middle of the screen. Place your mouse here, and then click to start. So it moves forward on its own. Place your mouse here for rotation. Place your mouse back in the middle in order to make it stop rotating. All right? And now we can actually see, if you touch the walls, defeat, click to start. So I'm going to click, and we're going to just see a little bit of what happens. If I'm kind of close, we get a pretty large rotation, and if I'm even further away, we get very, very small rotation. And this is the only thing that affects it, all right? We get a very big rotation if I'm close to the middle, and a very, very small rotation, if a very, very fast rotation if I am close to the edges. If I go to the middle, it just keeps on going forward, and I need to reach the portal. If I touch any walls, I die. So this is basically the entire game, and as you can see, it's a little bit difficult, but the only reason it's difficult is because of the control scheme, and clearly there's more and more things. There's progression here. I didn't go far into the game, but there is progression here, I'm assuming even greater with more elements. But that's not what we want to talk about. The main thing about this game is the controls. That is why it's called a hardcore game, and that they decided to call it a hardcore game. That's why it's difficult. If the controls were simpler, and clearly you can see how to make the controls simpler by just having left and right rotate, all right, and have the thing move forward and only have left and right rotate whenever, in the left and right arrow keys or A and D in some kind of rotation, and then the game would mostly be trivialized and kind of easy and won't really have a point. So this game stands only on its control scheme, and I feel it's a very artificial difficulty in this type of game. The reason for it is when you screw up, it kind of feels like it's the game's fault because the controls are so screwy. If you'd have proper controls, you could actually, this game would be pretty easy. But because the control scheme is so difficult, is so problematic, then the game, that's where the game takes its difficulty from. And this is something that I really, really dislike. Clearly some people do, and I can understand why people like this, because there is some sort of appeal in mastering this screwed up control scheme. There is an appeal in that. And if we want to take the highest form of really screwing with you, we could take an example, a game that's made quite a name for itself and is kind of known for being the most difficult game ever, or whatever, but it's just a little control experiment called QWOP, QWOP. If you're unfamiliar with it, go check it out, just QWOP. And it's a game where you're supposed to run with really screwy joints. I really despise that type of game because I really, again, feel that the difficulty is artificial, but I understand the appeal in it. Some people like it, undoubtedly some people like it. I just don't, and that's really all I have to say about it. I wanted to show this game because it's a great example of that, and I wanted to talk about this type of design choice, let's call it that. I just feel that if you make the controls better, if you make the controls proper and concise and make the player feel good about the controls, if the game is trivialized because of that, and made kind of obsolete and kind of lame, then the game only stands on the controls, and I don't like that. I just really don't like that. Again, this is my personal opinion. Some people do like this, so please don't take offense. I just wanted to talk about this pretty interesting subject. Alright, so that's Hellspin. And there's another game that I wanted to show you that is incredibly innovative, and I don't have much to say about it because it's pretty simple and it's pretty freaking smart. And it's called Intersectagon. Yeah, Intersectagon. That's a really cute little name. This thing works on any smartphone or tablet very, very well, and I can see a kajillion clones being thought up and made. Let's just get started. I almost finished it, and I probably should. Let's just get started with the first couple of levels. How to use your mouse and click to fill shapes. All right. Fill as much as you can beyond this point. All right. And time is ticking, act fast for a better grade. So we have this type of finish in as few clicks as you can to earn more stars. So you want to do it as fast as possible and with as few clicks as possible in order to get 3 stars or the best score or whatever. All right. So what do we do? Click to fill the shapes. You can already see that the timer is ticking here. And we have 5 shapes, so we have 5 clicks, I guess. And if we just click, we fill the shape, we get a percentage, and this fills up. If I click both of these, if there's the biggest ones, then I filled enough, and you win! Yeah! Proceed! Alright, let's keep going. It took me a little bit of while, so the grade is bad, but if I'll restart and just do this very quickly, then my grade will be a little bit better. You can already see that it is 3 stars. Hooray! Okay, proceed. So I'm going to jump forward a little bit to say level 3. And stuff start moving around, and then you kind of time it properly. There is the timer running, all right, but you still want to time things properly, so it's kind of playing against the clock in a way, as it does rotate in a very specific fashion. But it works very well. And later on, if I jump far, far ahead to, say, level 12, we can see that there's this red area that also moves around, and if I hit it, you lose, and I have to start over. The only complaint that I have about this game is the flow of the levels, and this is where you'll see that restart is space or R. So if I actually screw up, I can press space in order to restart it almost instantaneously, which is great, but why do I have to use space? I mean, if I screw up, I want to be able to click at least a couple of times and restart with the mouse, because I'm only using the mouse to actually play, and the fact that I have to wait for the you lose in order to come up instead of being able to just toggle it very quickly in order to come up the lose and come up the screen and then click again. I'd say 3 clicks in order to just continue on with the game instead of using another hand on spacebar. That is the only complaint I have about this game. Make it a little bit more flowy with, if I'm using the mouse, just have me just use the mouse. There's no reason to not make those frames a little bit faster. Other than that, there's great progression. If I'll go even further, I'm just gonna leave this level so I could actually show you other things. But if I move even forward, we'll also see things that, you see that it doesn't move. It moves alongside with my mouse. So my mouse movements actually control the sum of the shapes in the screen. So the progression here throughout, I'm showing you, level from the top, level from the middle, level from the end of it. But there is great progression alongside each and every level. So you feel it is harder and harder and more interesting and more interesting. And the concept is really fun and really great and definitely works on any smartphone and any tablet. I can definitely see this do very well. And then I can see a kajillion clones of it. It's lovely. And I really, really recommend, and I really think you could create a lot of levels, maybe even make a level editor, a level maker that, you can generate like 1,000 levels and then just put out those 1,000 levels and have people enjoy it for a very long amount of time. It's really great. It's really innovative. That's the only reason I wanted to show you it. Again, very little complaints. And that's it. That's it for Concept Hunter for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been educational and fun as usual, and I will see you guys next time.